Hi guys, I'm sitting in front of my tractor and I'm showing you my light bar that's under my bumper. This is my Cub Cadet that I bought last year, and it's a nice little tractor, but one thing I don't like about it is the lights on them are garbage. I don't think there's any small tractor out there that has adequate headlights, so I decided while I have a little downtime before my chores start, I'm going to add some additional lighting to it. And I initially bought this light thinking I'm going to put this inside one of the grill slots, and then what happened was after I bought the light and it came in, I went to the tractor and I looked at it and I said, oh damn, it's a 13-inch light, but the slot is like 8 inches or something, so it's not going to fit. So I ended up, instead of sending it back, I ended up using it anyway, and I looked around for another spot, and I think on this application here, because I have the bumper, I just drilled 2 holes into underneath the bumper, and I used the number 7 drill, and I found 2 little 1/4-20 screws, and I tapped it into the bottom of the bumper. Then I bolted it up, and it's solid right now. And this little light, they give you, if I can zoom in this in a little bit, they give you nice brackets. You can see the brackets hopefully. So that's how I have it mounted up. It's bolted up underneath. And I think this will work fairly well. And the thing is that with this though, I didn't want it to run on the engine. I wanted it to run off the battery. Because sometimes I'm doing things and in the yard or whatever after dark, and I could just bring the tractor over, shut it down, and flip the lights on and see what I gotta see. So I wanted like a real headlight for a change, instead of something that has to be tied into the engine. So this will be a real easy wiring installation. Because I have a 12-volt battery on it now, I don't need to run a bridge rectifier. So that'll be pretty easy. My goal is to hook it up to the starter solenoid, because you have a positive wire. It's a hot wire right there, right off the battery. So that'll be a nice, easy place to tie it in. Unfortunately, on this tractor, it's under the battery box. They don't put it under the hood. So they make my life miserable, but it's no big deal. And let me show you how it looks on the top side. I'm on the top side now, and you can see how kind of fits right in there almost perfectly. It's just touching the metal shroud in there, but it won't hurt anything. And the light is maybe a 1/2 inch recessed under the bumper, so the bumper hangs out in front slightly, so it protects it. So I think this is a good spot to put the light. Of course, you see the wires are hanging now. I need to get in there and start wiring things up. Okay, I'm at the bench now, and I'm going to use 6 feet of this 16 gauge wire to wire this light up. And this is going to come off the starter solenoid. I'm going to crimp this on along with the fuse over here. And my math says that for a 50-watt light bulb at 12 volts, you need about 5 amps it'll draw about 5 amps. So I'm going to put a 10 amp fuse on it, just so I don't pop the fuse. And I have a big box of tubing and hose and all kind of junk over the years. So I'm going to use this 6 feet of this tubing here, windshield washer tubing. I'm going to use that as my wire protector as I snake it underneath the tractor. And I'm going to follow the existing wire that's coming from the battery and the starter solenoid. So I'll follow that up right under the dash, and that'll protect it in case I do pinch it or something. And this is my switch here. This switch is rated for 20 amps, so I know it's more than my fuse. So then therefore it's not going to pop and not going to damage my switch. Now at the tractor over here, here's my my switch, and I'm going to wire this. I'm going to put the switch in the center of the console right here, and these machines, they have all these little knockout boxes, little plugs like that. They add more accessories or whatever. So a real simple way of taking it apart, just drop a screwdriver in there and you pry it out and that'll come right off. Now you see a nice big gaping hole in there. I grabbed my flashlight from the other side. I could see which way I'm going to snake that hole, snake the wire. So I got to go under the seat over here. I have to go under the seat and pull the battery box out. Pull the battery in the battery box. And my relay is on the ass end of the tractor here. Funny place they put it, but that's where it is. So let me shut it down and do some more operating, and then I'll update you what's going on. Right now you're looking at the battery box of the tractor. I removed the battery and it's sitting on the floor. Now if you follow the battery cables, you'll see that where it ends up, that stud, that little nut, that's the starter solenoid, and that's a live wire all the time. So I'm going to attach my wiring, will start right here. It'll be fused, and I'm going to follow the existing harness of the tractor and get it up under the dash so I can get to my switch. Only one wire comes off of here. This is going to be my positive wire. So that's what the wire looks like. It's crimped. I'm ready to put it on. I got the fuse, inline fuse. I had taped it up, and then I have it going into my my windshield washer vacuum tubing as my insulation. It's all curled up. I got 6 feet coming out over here. So I'm going to connect this wire right here to my switch, and this end goes on the starter solenoid. Coming from the light, I have these two original wires, and I took my wires and I put them together with solder. So these ends have been soldered, and then to waterproof the ends, I'm going to use some heat shrink tubing, and I'm going to slide it over the end. I'm going to use my butane torch, and I'm going to warm up these the heat shrink tubing so it makes a nice waterproof connection. Before I wire this thing up, I'm also going to take some of my vacuum tubing that I've been using, and I'm going to protect the front end of these wires as well. And then I'm going to run the red wire up to the switch, and the black wire will be going to a bolt on the frame. Here is my switch right here. It's all ready to be put in. That's the little cap that I removed earlier. These are the wires coming out of the dash. Notice I put these little crimp-on connectors. Over here, coming off the light in the front of the tractor, the ground wire is attached to the engine mount right here. And I put 2 star washers around both sides of that, so I should crimp it real nice. It's nice and tight. All along the job I put the junk I had around the house, around the garage. I had this heater hose or vacuum tubing or whatever. The whole job is wired with ties. It's protected the wire all the way around. So I'm just about ready to try this. Okay, I brought the tractor outside. I'm going to start it. I'll put on the original lights first, then I'll put on the new light bar. Thing works pretty nice. Tractor lights on and off. Barely notice it. That's my new light bar. Big difference. Best thing I like, I can shut it down and still have my lights. Thanks for watching.